there's a new method of evangelism, I should know about it. And what better way to know about it than at the horse's mouth? I'm going to go by faith. So when now the pastor had not come back to me about the idea, he rang me and asked me if I'd be willing to cover the youth meeting while he was away. And I said, no, I can't do that. Why not? I'm going to America. And this is an act of faith. To turn him down is an act of faith, because you're saying to God, I do not doubt, but that I am going. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't know how. But by telling him, no, I can't do that, I'm saying, yes, I'm planning to be over there. See, one of the things I struggled with over the years was, how do you know you're not doubting? Jesus said, have the faith. Everyone says, he said, have the faith in God. Whosoever says to this mountain, be lifted up and cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says is coming to pass, he shall have whatever he says. But it doesn't say in God. It says have the faith of God. In other words, the God who says, light, there be light, and knows there will be light. That's the kind of faith we're supposed to have when we say things. But I always used to ask the question, how do you know you're not doubting? If I had said to him, maybe that would demonstrate I'm doubting. So I had to say, no, I'm going to America. And so what happened in that particular trip, I was praying for the funds, and people knew I was going to America now. I'm telling people.
But you've not got the money or anything. You've got no idea how you're going to get there.
I don't know how I'm going to get there. So I'm praying, and we're reaching the date of the prophetic conference, and we're getting closer. And so I gave a tongues and an interpretation to myself at the bus stop in a little town. So tongues, fear not, my son. Fear not, my son. I will make a way for you to California. I'll be with you. I will make a way for you in that place. You'll be my servant. You'll accomplish my purpose. Make your hands ready. I recorded the prophecy in my phone. And then every time I listened to it, my spirit said, woo, 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 woo. I said that, woo. So make your hands ready. You will accomplish my purpose. You'll be my servant. Make your hands ready. So I figured, make your hands ready. That basically means pack your bags ahead of time so that you're ready to go. So I have my bags packed. I'm praying, and there's no money. Now, if I want to be in America on the February the 22nd, and I reach to February the 22nd here, waiting, praying, I have no faith. Because you can't fly from your bedroom. You can't fly from your bedroom. So I says to my wife, I think I need to go to Oslo by faith. And she said, she agreed. She was feeling sorry for me at this point because, you're praying and there's no money and nothing's happening. So she agreed. So I got my bags. I headed to Oslo. I rang my friend from Africa. I've been inviting African preachers over here and guaranteeing them to combine the wisdom of the Norwegian church, which is able to deliver the faith forward, and the fire of the Africans. I said, we need one another. So I'm doing that. I ring my brother from Africa. I say, do you know anyone in Oslo? Because I don't. He has grace. Wherever he goes, he meets people. So he tells me about an African preacher, gives me the number. So I'm heading to Oslo. I meet the African preacher. He says, so you're going to America? Yeah. So do you know where your money is coming from? I said, no. He said, do you have any expectation of an income, and you got a job? No. But I do have a word. Fear not. I will make a way for you to California. I will make a way for you in that place. You'll be my servant. You'll accomplish my purpose. So he looked at me. He said, go back to your wife. He did not believe. In fact, he thought I had marital problems. And then we're sitting in the car, and he said, look, I work with Iceland Television Gospel Channel, and it's a pity because maybe you could have ministered on the gospel channel. God could touch somebody, give you the money, But I can't. I'm not going to Gospel Channel tonight, and I've got to go back to my wife. He said. 10 minutes later, in the car, the phone rings. It's Gospel Channel. We need a guest. He drops me at Gospel Channel. He goes home to his wife because he had to, and I ministered on Gospel Channel. But it wasn't.
Had you ever done it on TV before?
No, and it was in Norwegian, and it wasn't live.
Okay.
So I was just sharing in Norwegian, and so in the morning, I'm thinking maybe the other evangelist who's interviewing me, maybe he's going to bless me. So I'm waiting in the morning, and it goes 9, 10. I woke up at 6:25, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said, this guy's not waking up. And then I thought, if you are going to be moving to America, you can't be doing it from here. So I left. I went to Karl Johan, the main street in Oslo. I began to give out tracts. It was freezing cold. It was winter. I'm just giving out tracts. And then a lady or a young lady.
You're giving out what tracts?
Tracts, gospel tracts, little messages about Jesus.
Okay.
Just handing them out on the street. Because you see, Jesus said, when you go to the disciples, when you go on a mission, don't take your purse. Leave your wallet at home. No gold, no silver. My 21st century interpretation is, when you go on a mission, I'm responsible for the cost. So that's my interpretation of that message to the disciples. When we go on a mission, so once I leave my house, I'm on a mission. And now God's responsible for the cost. So I'm giving out the tracts, doing missionary work, but in Oslo, but I'm on a mission. A young lady stops from the theological faculty, and she just asked me a question and another question. Then we had a conversation. Then she invited me to lunch. So we're going to lunch. I get a phone call from my African brother. He said, did anything happen? Did anything happen? I said, no, but he said, I'm sorry, I have nowhere for you to stay tonight. I have nowhere to accommodate you tonight. I said, don't worry, brother. I'm not dependent on you, and you're not responsible for me. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So the sister who was there with me, she had a friend called John, and she rang him and asked if I could stay with him. And he was so excited. He always wanted someone from Africa. Black skin is Africa in these cultures. He always wanted to connect with something from Africa. So he invited me.